Today's episode is brought to you by our friends and educational partners, HoneyBook. HoneyBook is an amazing service for creatives, visionaries, coaches, and business owners just like us. And the best part about HoneyBook, they're super easy to use, they're so super affordable, and they even come with a contract template specified to the type of industry that we're in that we're free to use and send to our clients. So basically what HoneyBook does is it helps automate the onboarding process. So I use this process for any one-on-one clients. I use this process for my mastermind clients. I use this process for events. This is something I use for everything other than like a self-study course. Anything that I want them to be able to have a payment plan for, and also to, if there's any kind of contractual agreement. So a lot of times you'll want somebody to sign a contract for your terms of use, your terms and conditions, and the terms of your agreement with one another. So this makes it super easy. So when you get somebody to sign up with you and they're like, heck yeah, I'm all in, where do I sign up? Where do I start? You just get their email address, you enter in their custom program, or you can save a template if you have one that's always the same price, always the same contract. And you just basically fill in their information, fill in the price, create their custom payment plan if they are paying in full, or if they're paying weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, like on specified dates, whatever that looks like for that particular client. You send it over once, and what it does is it sends them a proposal so they can see everything beautifully lined out. Then they can sign the contract and make their first payment. It's so simple. They can do it from their email box or from their phone in a matter of moments. And then everything is good to go. You're in compliance. You're all, ready to go with your contract, and everything is started right away. You can also set up follow-up emails. You can also set up what they call brochures, and you make beautiful introductions to your programs, to your courses, and to whatever it is that you have to offer. And these can be customized in so many different ways so that they are on brand with you. And the cool thing about HoneyBook is they have offered all of you guys 50% off for the entire first year. So this is one of the best bargains I think I've ever encountered. So to get this, you can actually start with a free trial, no credit card required, which I love. And but trust me, you'll love HoneyBook. So then if you're ready to get started, you just sign up. So if you want to get that 50% off, make sure you use our code. It's in the show notes, but it's share.honeybook.com/Amie, AMIE 935. So just click back over into the show notes if you want that, or it is share.honeybook.com/Amie 935, and that will secure your 50% off an already amazing low price for the entire first year of your subscription. I hope that you guys have a wonderful experience with HoneyBook. I know that I have. It's been a staple of my business, and it's been such a joy to use. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Moms Making Money Show. I'm your host, Amie Pederson, business mentor and confidence coach for the new and emerging female entrepreneur. Today, I have the lovely, lovely Jessica here, and she is going to be talking to us about all things virtual assistant and kind of that back end unsexy part of our businesses. She's the founder and CEO of Paperleaf Media and Design, and she does all the behind the scenes stuff. She has a virtual assistants agency, and she takes care of graphics and web design and all the things that, all the things that can really take up a lot of time in a business, whether you're brick and mortar or, in the virtual space like myself. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on you and what led you down this path to becoming a female entrepreneur, and where you're at today?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and chatting with you. I actually have always had a little bit of motivation to try and do something myself instead of working anyone else. I guess more so not only for the freedom of it, but also because it allows me to pour into my creativity a little bit more. From the time that I was really young, I found myself, wanting to work for myself, but at the same time, I dove into the corporate world. Anything from I've been a substitute teacher, I have been a banker, which was my most recent job. I was a branch banker of a local bank, worked with some great people. But I also found that my passion was not there. I enjoyed my work, but my passion was not there, and that was not what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing. I do find that a lot of people struggle with pursuing their passion and their dreams because, for one, they don't know how to get started, or they lack the funds of getting started. And for whatever reason, they just decide not to pursue their dream, and they just continue to live this mediocre life and just do their day-to-day stuff and fulfill those responsibilities. And I understand that. I get that. And kudos to all those people. But at the same time, it is so important. And I believe that it was so important for every single one of us, women, men, everybody, to pursue their passion and their dream, because work is a huge part of our lives. That's what we spend a lot of our lives doing. And if we don't enjoy what we're doing, then we're spending a huge part of our lives doing something that we don't enjoy.
Agree.
And that's just not somebody who I wanted to be. So I knew that. I've been doing administrative assistant tasks over the years for probably about 15 years now. Anything from in the banking industry to the office industry for a nonprofit, just all kinds of different things. And a lot of that time had been also me assisting as a virtual assistant. And with that being said, I was actually, whenever my daughter was a baby, she's 18 now, I had actually looked into starting work at home things. I would just kind of dive into different things to see what they were about, do my research on them. I've even worked for a call center virtually. It was as an employee, but I still did it. And I just did my research. So then whenever I went on to looking into the virtual assistant thing back whenever my daughter was a baby, I actually worked with a lady for some amount of time. She was a virtual assistant. She kind of outsourced a little bit to me. And, I picked up projects here and there from web design to graphic design, so forth and so on. And it just really interested me. And I finally decided, I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to try to start doing it for myself. And I did. Back in, actually, believe it or not, August of this year, I started Paperleaf Media and Design. And it has grown tremendously, amazingly. I'm very blessed by it. I just continuously marketed it. And I finally built up my pipeline enough to where I have enough clients to where I was able to turn in my resignation at the bank as of November. So if you're counting, that's a 3 to 4 month time frame that I was able to actually just go fully working for myself, run this business. And if I can do that in that amount of time, there's no reason that anybody else.
I love that. And that is a good amount of time. That's like, everybody usually puts like a 6 to 12 month goal. So you beat that kind of average norm as far as the time frame goes. And let me talk to you a little bit about how did that feel for you? Was that scary? Did you have like fears, or did you have people telling you about, oh my gosh, you have to stay in your job at the bank? And what are you thinking?
I did. I actually, I was very reluctant because I made a good salary at the bank. And I practically had doubled my salary with my business, but I knew that was not going to be a supplemental income. That was going to be my replacement income. So, and I'm still building up on it. I'm going to end up eventually making more with my business than I did at the bank. I'd make as much now, but I'm going to make even more now because I have more free time. But I was reluctant just because I was making a good salary and I was in my comfort zone. And in order to change anything, sometimes you just have to step out of your comfort zone to do it.
Right.
And so I went ahead and turned in my resignation. And I had some people that was like, are you sure you want to do that right now? Should you really be doing that? And honestly, even though I found my passion and I was enjoying this virtual assistant stuff, running my own business, all of this bunch of stuff, I still found that I was being bogged down because I was going to my day job and then I was coming home and working until 1 a.m. on my business. And I knew even whenever I was making less than I was at the bank, I knew that I was still, if I had to make a choice, I was going to choose my business.
Right.
So that's at the point that I knew that I had to make a change. And I said, you know what? Once I got to the point of where I had my pipeline full enough to where I was comfortable, even though I was reluctant, I was comfortable. And once I got that built up, and then I was able to say that I make as much with my business as what I did in the corporate world, I went ahead and turned in my resignation. Now, as far as what it feels like now, would I do it again? Absolutely. I don't have any regrets. I actually, my friends, one of my best friends, I was visiting her the other day, and she said, "You even seem happier." And it wasn't that I wasn't happy before. It was just that I just had a lot on my plate. I was bogged down. I wasn't living my passion. Now I am, and my attitude has just changed about it.
Yeah. You definitely seem like this is your true passion and your true calling. And, just speaking with you even prior to this episode, just getting a feel for you and getting to know you, I can definitely tell that this is something that really excites you and lights you up.
It does. Even on the days that I'm not working, I try not to think about work, just because of the fact that, my family, I owe that to them. I owe that to myself. I need some downtime, but I'm so passionate about it. Sometimes I struggle, and I'm like talking about it even probably when I shouldn't, just because they're probably like, "Hey, are you going to take a break?" But, I really enjoy what I do. And that's whenever you know that you found your passion and your calling, and you want to talk about what you do, even on the time that you're off.
Right. Agree. I fully agree with that. Tell us a little bit now about specifically like what your business offers as, a virtual assistant agency, and how that is so important. Like, obviously I can definitely chime in and shine some light on this and the value of having an assistant and a team to help your business grow. But from your perspective, how important is it, and what kind of feedback do you get from your clients about implementing a team and help?
Well, I have all kinds of different clientele. You may have some virtual assistants that just, they may just focus on one clientele, whether it be real estate agents or coaches or whatever it may be. But I chose to keep an open mind and an open field for that. So I help anything from real estate agents to life coaches, to business coaches, to health coaches, photographers, retail shops, just all kinds of different clients. And for me, that has been something that I really enjoy, because the work is different for each client. But it also is stuff that they don't want to have to focus on, because take the photographer, for example. She wants to be able to go out and take her photos at her photo sessions and edit them and deliver them to the clients, but she don't want to necessarily have to do all the invoicing and the behind the scenes stuff that she may not have time to do. She just wants to focus on that client. Or the real estate agent, she enjoys selling houses and showing houses and doing her research that way, but she may not want to have to do all the behind the scenes paperwork and phone calls and schedulings and things like that. And that's where I fall into place. Whereas my life coaches and business coaches and things, same thing for them. They have anything from meetings and voice calls to, phone calls, schedulings, things like that. They want to focus on growing their business, but they don't want to have to do all the behind the scenes stuff. And sometimes you don't have time for that.
Right.
So, it helps them not only to grow, because they're able to focus on their actual business instead of the behind the scenes stuff that comes along with it, the paperwork and the phone calls and all of that bunch of stuff.
I love that. And I mean, having somebody to, like I remember one time I was driving down the road and it was like, because I use Voxer, right? So I was stuck in traffic. I don't even remember now where I was going. And I just got this idea. So it was like, get on this little walkie-talkie app and like, hey, can we get an email out right now about da, 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 and I don't remember what it was now, but it ended up being a really successful email. But if I had waited until I got home later that day, because I was gone all day that day, I probably would have forgotten all about it.
Exactly. And that's the thing about it. It's just a lot of the times you're out doing tasks, you're doing what you need to do for your business, and you may not be at the computer, you may not be at the phone, as far as to do the things that needs to be done behind the scenes. But if you make that task list and say to your admin, hey, will you get this done for me, or will you get that done for me, then we're behind the scenes working on that for you. And I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about a virtual assistant that a lot of people don't realize. We're not employees, we're independent contractors. So with that being said, yes, we work for ourselves, but we also are working with you. We're your team. We help you as far as getting the admin task done, but you're not having to pay the overhead of having an employee, from the benefits to the office equipment to all of the stuff that would come along with having an employee. So in that route, you're saving money, but you also still have all the benefits of having an assistant.
Yes. And one thing, yeah, because you don't have to, you save the money on like things like payroll taxes and other things like that. But I think that it's super important to think about how, you get exactly the support that you need. So coming from a business standpoint, maybe when you're just first starting out, you don't need somebody 40 hours a week. You know what I mean? So being able to outsource that to somebody who has other clients, I kind of look at it, not to say that it's the same thing, but even kind of like a housekeeper. Most people don't have housekeepers that show up all day long every day. It's, they come as needed, or they come, on a scheduled basis, like once a week or every other week. And both I think are super, super helpful, but it's not something that you necessarily need 40 hours a week. That's 160 hours a month. That's quite a lot.
It is. So, and everybody, I noticed, and my clients will tell you, every business is different. And that's one of the things I tell them, each business is different. I don't care if I have 2 life coaches, their businesses are going to be different.
Right.
The way that they run it, their clients, their back end, everything is going to be different. And their needs are going to be different, therefore, because of the fact that their structure is different. What they're built on is different. So that's one of the things that I try to do is I package around my clients. I don't package just on, sure, I'll have a base package that, people can choose if that's the easiest. Mm-hmm. But I also package around my clients, because what I may have as far as my base package or any existing package that I have, it may not be what fits the client.
Agree, absolutely. So when you are, I want to kind of turn it on this kind of whole hiring a VA thing. I want to turn it on its head a little bit. When you're interviewing with, say, somebody like me who's, in need of a VA, say, what do you look for from a VA, like an assistant perspective, on your ideal client, on somebody that you want to work with?
Well, first of all, as a virtual assistant, you have to, no matter whether you're just starting out or you're 10 years down the road, you have to look at the standpoint of what your experience is, because your skills and your experience is going to develop as you grow, as you're working. Mm-hmm. So what I may have been able to do 5 years ago or even 2 years ago, I may have already built up on that.
Yeah.
Since then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So therefore, my skills will broaden. And therefore, what we all have to think of, and we got to continuously do this, is what skills we can bring to the table. What can we market to our clients? Not just market. Everybody thinks of market as just making a sell. And it's not just that. You've got to network. You've got to build rapport. You've got to build a relationship and see how you can fit that client's needs. But you also got to see if their personality and their business matches with what you have to offer.
Right.
Anything from, naturally, I'm going to know my education background, my experience, my skill set, but I also have to think of, even though I know this stuff, do I enjoy doing it? I knew banking, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my passion. So, and I think that's important too, because you're going to produce better quality work if you're passionate about it and you enjoy it and you love what you do. So, for my ideal client personally, though, it would be, I'm creative. I love creative stuff. I've got a couple of different websites I'm doing right now for a couple of my clients, and that's one of the things that I do. I offer in my packages, just my clients only pay me my hourly rate of whatever their package is to do their web design work, just because, a lot of times you may find that you have to pay a web design fee, and you may have to do a package for web design because it is such intensive work. It's a lot of work. But at the same time, that's one of the things that set me apart for that. I only charge my hourly package fee for that client. And if that's what they want me to do on the task list that week, that's what I'm working on. So that's where I'm at with that. And then where I do web design and graphic design and things like that, I also, on the side, and it's not as much a career as it is a hobby, I do photography. So I love anything creative, but I also love helping people and connecting with people and just building a relationship around my work. That's what I look for, and anything that'll allow me to be creative while I'm doing it, I'm absolutely going to do it.
I love that. So I know that you also have a free gift prepared for us today, and the link for that will be in the show notes. So everybody listening can go ahead and just grab that. And will you tell us just a little bit about it?
Sure. I actually have put together a packet for those who are looking to be a virtual assistant, or those who are already a virtual assistant, or even if you're not, you could probably still use this if you're in any type of business, I guess. But it's targeted more toward virtual assistants because I am one myself, of course, and it's something that I think that we could find useful. Anything from planners that you can print out, calendars for the year 2019, to marketing plans, blog post ideas, all kinds of stuff are in that packet. And it's absolutely free to whoever's listening, and they can just grab it and print it out as they'd like.
I love that. I feel like that's going to be so super useful for so many people.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And for anybody out there who thinks that they might be ready for a virtual assistant, go ahead, and I'm going to read off your website. Go ahead and go to paperleafmediaanddesign.com. And I know that you can set up a free call there to see if it's a good fit and see the various packages and offerings that Jessica has, and give it a chance, you guys. I know that that is one of the scariest steps that a new business owner can take, but I also know that it's one of the most valuable steps that somebody can take. So before we sign off here, tell us where we can find you in all the places besides just your website.
Sure. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram. You'll find me there. I'm starting to launch on YouTube. I'm going to be on there in 2019 as well. And Twitter. You'll find me on there as well. So definitely all the links are on my website. Go visit me, like my pages, say hey, and get in contact with me. Let me go ahead and do that consultation for you. All that it'll cost you is a little bit of your time.
Perfect. And you know what? It might actually just really save you a bunch of time down the road. So definitely make sure you guys give her a like and follow on all the places. Check out her website, set up that call, and definitely take advantage of this free gift. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
It's been my pleasure.